Instrument 75, which makes biometric verification a prerequisite for voting. Bernard Mona noted the no verification, no vote provision breaches Article 42 of the 1992 Constitution. And now he's joined us over the telephone for more on this. Thank you very much, Bernard, for your time here.
Thank you, Kamini.
Bernard, tell us more about this no verification, no vote prerequisite you against, which is prompting you to go to court to challenge.
Well, as you recall, sometime last year, I had instructed my lawyers to go to court to challenge a number of issues in the electoral laws. And indeed, one of the issues was to look at the question of a machine determining whether somebody could vote or not. In my view, it infringes upon Article 42 of the 1992 Constitution, which requires that you should just be a citizen of Ghana, 18 years of age, of sound mind, and entitled to register and vote. So if that is the requirement, then obviously CI 75, which says that once you are registered and a machine, an instrument, maybe through its own default, is unable to ascertain whether your fingers should be recognized or not, you are denied the privilege of or opportunity to register to vote. And I think that is an affront to the supremacy of our Constitution. And if you take Article 1(2) of the 1992 Constitution, it says that any law or any other law that is inconsistent with the provisions of the 1992 Constitution, to the extent of the inconsistency, that law should be void. But if you move further to Article 1 of the 1992 Constitution, it says that any individual or any person who alleges such inconsistency shall bring an action for a declaration at the Supreme Court. And I think that we are just moving on the remit of the law so as to declare a subordinate law that is inconsistent with the 1992 Constitution invalid.
Aren't provisions made for persons who are not able to be verified by this machine?
Well, as you recall, CI 72 was just tested recently in court. And indeed, if you take the further CI 72, which talks about registration, even that we have put in a mechanism that says that somebody who do not have an urban document like a voter ID card, a national passport, Ghana card, or a driving license, if the person comes from that particular locality, two persons who are already registered members can come and attest that that person hails from that community and therefore can be granted the right to register. If that is the case, you will expect that when the person's name is already engraved in the register, the person should be allowed to vote. But we are told that by CI 75, you are not allowed to vote. And no two people can even come and attest that the picture, the identity of this person whose ID card we are holding is indeed a true person that we all know hailing from a particular area and therefore should vote. And there are many reasons why your fingerprints may not be acceptable to the machine. There could be a nervous shock. There could be some people suffering from Parkinson's diseases, and therefore they are not able to, and yet they have a right to vote. You understand? There are many people who are in the farm, and during the harvest season, we all know that when you overwork your fingers, it takes some time to regenerate. So these people will be denied the right to vote when indeed their names, their particulars are already in the voters register. If we are interested in the biometric register, why then do we say that those who are registered should not be given the right to vote just because a machine has denied them that opportunity?
But Bernard, before we started using the biometric verification machine, I want to believe that a lot of consultation went on with the political parties, and we still went ahead to do this. What was the original idea of accepting that provision of using the BVM in the first place?
No, I have always opposed to it. I'm sure that if you check even your own archives, you understand that I've made a consistent call that a machine should not determine the fate of citizens. And we all know that machines can be faulty. Even speaking on my phone, sometimes it can trip. And therefore, it means that within the period that we are supposed to talk, I will not be able to communicate with you. So if a machine can do that, and on a voting day, a machine is default, by the time they come to rectify that particular default, the voting time would have passed and I will not be allowed to vote. It is not my fault. It is the fault of a machine. And so I don't think that once I'm a registered citizen, and as the 1992 Constitution states, once you are a registered voter, you should be granted your right of place.
I see. Have you filed the suit already?
My lawyers have prepared the documentation, and immediately after the judicial break, we will be in court to file.
I see. How soon will that be?
I'm sure my lawyers, if you talk to them, they can tell you much more. But I've given the signal that we should go to court. And we have looked at it. We have realized that it's inconsistent with the Constitution. And we just want to straighten the law. As you know, anytime a subordinate law is in conflict with a main law, that subordinate law must give way.
Bernard, thank you very much for your time. Bernard Mona is General Secretary for the People's National Convention.